introduction of you to participants, then you can start it. Yes, sir. So, participants, we are moving towards the next technical talk, which is on HACCP and its implementation. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Mr. N. Subrat, sir, DGA, Department, Government of Kerala. I would quickly introduce sir to you. He is serving as a Deputy General Government Analyst in Food Safety Department, Government of Kerala. Earlier, he worked as a Deputy in Central Licensing Authority and Authorized Officer in Trade and International Coordination in FSI, Government of India. Started his career as a lecturer in Engineering College and worked as an environmental specialist in Royal Commission, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He has completed his MSc, MPhil in Chemistry and pursuing material science. He has published more than 19 research papers in peer-reviewed international journals. Research papers under review of our publication. He is the author of 2 international books, which is published in Germany. He is an editorial member of several journals and scientific advice, Tamil Nadu Scientific Research Organization, and active member for several scientific organizations. He received Best Faculty Award and Best. He received appreciation from the Indian Customs, ITCFSAN, for his meticulous activities. I welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much for a nice introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I think I'm audible. I'm right? Madam, I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Yeah, voice is clear, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It is a very nice introduction. Thanks a lot for joining this class. Okay, now today we are going to talk about the HACCP or HACCP or Hazard as an Assess Critical Control Point and how it is going to implement in the food safety, that means food industry. From the word itself, you see the hazard analysis and critical control point. Actually, the HACCP or HACCP is divided into 2 categories. First is the hazard analysis. If the hazard is occurred, how we will control that one, that means critical control point. So there is a 2 deviation, hazard analysis and critical control point. These are the things we are going to discuss today. Before going to discuss the things, let us see this, what the Food Safety Act it told that. So Food Safety and Standard Act, you know that is 2006. You know that before that Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, all the things last classes you heard about. Here in Food Safety and Standard Acts, I am going to highlight one of the particular things. What is the main thing in the Food Safety and Standards Act? It ensures availability of safe, nutritious and wholesome food for human consumption. You see the safe, the hazard analysis automatically came. And wholesome, it is a very beautiful word. You see, wholesome means it is free from the contamination. It is free from the pesticides. It is free from the antibiotics. It is free from the veterinary drugs. So the food, it should be very perfect for the human consumption. It shouldn't make any adverse effect for the human. So this word is a very, very beautiful things. So what I am telling means the hazard, it is coming with the safe and also the wholesome. So that's why I told that whatever the system it is coming over there, that is only mean for the safety, nutritious and wholesome food. HACCP is also one of the things in there. So where we have to apply in this one, it is just to go in one line before. It told see that regulate their manufacturer, storage, distribution, sales and import. That means this should be coming with the entire system, entire food safety system. It should be applicable or adaptable. That is the beauty of this Food Safety and Standards Act. So that's why we are going to study all the things. We will see one by one, then you will beautifully understand everything in a perfect way. Let us see what is food. In Food Safety and Standard Acts, it's very clearly told that in section 3(1)(j), it clearly told that what is the food. There are 19 descriptions It is mentioned in section 31J. There is a 19 variety of food. It told that. Actually, it told that whether the substance, whether it is processed, partially processed, or unprocessed, which is intended for the human consumption. That means complete it is covered. Moreover, for further clarification, it told that genetically modified food and organic foods, infant food, packaged drinking water, even alcoholic drink, and chewing gum. You see the chewing gum, just we are not eating the chewing gum, just we are putting in our mouth only. The pan masala, all other things. That is also coming in this one. So that is also coming under food. So it is very beautifully arranged the things. Moreover, it is also exclude something. You see, animal feed, live animals, all the things placed to the market before the consumption. What it is called, that means if it is coming before that, then it is not coming under us. Moreover, it is clearly told that drugs, medical product, cosmetics, narcotics. No ambiguity in this one. This is very clearly told that what is a food. And moreover, it gave another one definition also. In case the central government may declare by notification in the official gazette any other article of food for the purpose of this act having regarding to its use, nature, substance or quality. It's very clear. If any other future, if government of India they notify anything as a food, it is also coming under this. So this is the regulation. It very beautifully told that. In further, it told that food on sales for human consumption must be wholesome, unadulterated, uncontaminated, and it is properly labeled and fit for human consumption. No ambiguity, no doubt in this one. What is the food? How the regulation it is coming? Very perfectly told that. If anyone, again it is told that if anyone violate the further, all the things I clearly told that if anyone violate the further, they may be punished by the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006 rules and regulation made under there. If anybody is violating, if anybody is giving the substandard food, if anybody is giving the unsafe food, if anybody is giving the misbranded food, then you will be punished under the act. Very clearly told that. The regulation it is very perfect. But let us see the current scenario.
Subrat, sir. So you're not audible. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's okay. Sorry. I think earlier slide, I think it's okay. I think I covered all the things. Earlier slide.
No, sir, you didn't. Your voice was not audible, sir.
Now it's okay.
Now it is fine, sir.
Okay, this slide I explained whether you understand all
Yes,
the things or
yes, sir. Yeah.
okay.
This slide.
Okay.
Next slide only, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So what I am telling means the regulation is very clear and it is perfectly told everything. Regulation is very perfect, but the nature scenario is not like that. The World Health Organization's report, it told that 600 million people are eating the contaminated food, and near than 4,20,000 are died every year, and 33 million healthy life years are lost. This is not a small issue. This is not a small issue. It is a very, very big issue. It is gradually increasing. That is the sad news we have. Moreover, you see the children's case below 5 years, under 5 years. You see 40% of the foodborne diseases, the burdens are children are facing. You see the children's immunity systems are developing. That is it. Whatever it is coming, immediately it is affected. We know we have the history of the melamine cases in where it is in China. Plenty of world, the entire world is affected with the melamine, which is spread by the China in the milk, milk product. And moreover, that adverse effect is still it is going on. So most of the countries nowadays they are not imported the Chinese that infant milk. Even in India also we are banned continuously. Last time what happened? The China they are trying to import some of the chocolate which contains a milk ingredient as a milk. We stopped that one. So moreover, you see the heavy metals last 10 years before the what it is called the infant milk product milk. It contains the heavy metals. So you see the death rate 1,25,000 death every year of the childrens. So why it is all it is entirely affect the system. It is affecting the national economy. It is affecting the tourism. It is affecting the trade. It is affecting the health. It is affecting the socio-economic development of the country. It is affecting the regulatory system also. So we have to think about in a very perfect way. And moreover, another one I will tell you that that's the American Medical Association's report. This is every year you see 2008 there is a 9 deaths, 170 are hospitals, and more people are illness. And 2011 listeria outbreak. You see, actually 150 people are ill and 33 are died. So that is also the cases. If you see in 2013, E. coli outbreaks, that is the, and 2014, cyclospora outbreak, and 2015, salmonella outbreak, 2015, and another one, E. coli outbreak. So number of deaths are reported in each and every one cases. These are the some of the things I am informing you. In India also we are not like that. In India also we are not behind that. You see we saw the Nestle that means noodles problem, Maggi noodles. We know that the contamination of that things. Everyone we heard about the food poisoning cases. The hospital the children are hospitalized or people are hospitalized. All the materials it is going very worse. Whatever the government they are taking efforts, everything is vain because of every time there is a continuous of the outbreaks, food poisoning. So, what is the solution for that? How we will prevent this one? So, what is the solution? How we have to prevent? How we have to identify? How we have to control? How we have to eliminate this food safety hazard from the food ecosystem? This is a very important and a serious issue. We have a lot of methods are there. The first is the GHP, good hygienic practices, and the GMP, good manufacturing practices, and the QMS, quality management system, HACCP, and ISO 9001, ISO 22000, FSMS plan, or FSM, that means ISO 22000. These are the varieties of methods are there. Let us see how it is related. If for the key element of food safety management system, these are the very important. The first is a GMP and GHP, and then GMP and GHP and PRP. We know that GMP means good manufacturing practices, and GHP means good hygienic practices. PRP means pre-request program. These are coming in the first place. Then we have to go for the HACCP and Conduct Elimination Commission recommendations. That is coming with it. Next, here I am going to point out to you that HACCP alone cannot do anything. It is a joint venture or a combination of other what it is called other practices. So what I am telling means GMP means good manufacturing practices, GHP means good hygienic practice, and PRP means pre-request program. Then as a HACCP or product elimination recommendation. The next it is a quality management system. The statutory requirements. You see in India the statutory authorities are Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, and moreover we have to comply with the Pollution Control Board, environmental regulations. If we are going to USFDA, again USFDA, if you are in US, USFDA is there, and US EPA is there, If you are going to Europe, then European food regulations, food safety regulations are there. So these are the statutory requirements. And then we have to go for the communication. The line of communication is very, very important in all the system, whether it is a GMP or ASAP or QMS or whatever, the line of communication from the higher level management to lower level management. The documentation through the communication and oral communication, verbal communication, and all the things it should be included in the food safety management. And the certifications, I already told, as a ISO 22000, food safety and system certification 22,000. These are the key elements which play the very important role to prevent the food poisoning or food adulteration or whatever it may be. So these are the key elements. If it is good, these all the things it is functioning very properly, then earlier we discussed about the cases, it shouldn't be happen. But what happens somewhere else, this is not very effective. That's why we are facing the problems and all. Okay, so let us see the next slide. Yeah, you see, so our main aim is the consumer safety. Because of earlier all the cases, the consumer face safety is failed. So for achieving the consumer safety, what we have to do? At first, you have to see the regulatory measures. That is the basic compliances, basic fundamental compliances, let us say. And then we have to think about the good manufacturing practices, and then good hygienic practices, and then schedule 4. So schedule 4, it is very beautifully mentioned in where in food safety standards licensing and registration things. So at first you have to go with the basic or fundamental compliance. Then you will move to the good manufacturing practices and good hygienic practices. Then you have to follow the schedule 4. Okay, once it is completed, then you have to think about the HACCP or ASAP or ISO 2000. Then we have to, if everything is completed, then you told them, okay, everything is completed, I am really going to relax. No, we have to go for the continual improvement for the food safety. That means audit, internal audit, external audit, third party audit, hygiene rating. So we have to think about all the things, and we have to adopt accordingly. And a good manufacturing brand, what is the best method it is available now? We have to adopt the things, and we have to go with the things. This is leads to the consumer safety, which is suitable for the consumers. Okay, so let us see one by one. So I already told that the good hygienic practice is a basic requirement for this one. This is a fundamental before going for the HACCP. Because of, you see that if good hygienic practices, if we start in a perfect way, then HACCP is also going to a very perfect way. So in GHP, in good this practices, the primary production is the very, very important. We have to start from the primary production or raw material or farm level. Okay, what is the practices we have to follow, and what is the practices we have to start. Then we have to come with the establishment, design and facilities. Establishment, it should be very perfect. The designs are according to the law, and it should be very free to move in there, no congestion and no contamination. Last time I visited one of the factory in Siliguri in West Bengal. I saw that, you see that only small barrier is there. In that one side, what happened? They are processing the milk. Another one side, what happened? They are what happened? They are packaging juice, and the another one side, what it is called, the juice processing also going thermally processed food. So that is not the good hygienic practices. You see, there is a possibility of high level contaminations here and there. All the people are moving here to there and there to here. That is not like that. So if you would like to do then the both amount, everything should be separated, and it should be the very perfect. There should be no what it is called cross contamination between the things. So that is a very, very important establishment, design and facilities. Then control of operation. It is a very, very important things for the control of operations. It should be very perfectly controlled. All the hygienic requirements should be satisfied. Then we will go for the maintenance and sanitation. This is also the very, very important hygiene and maintenance and sanitations. Last time on one of the, because of, you know that I worked as a central licensing authority also. One time one guy, they applied for the license. So in license, you know that we have to upload all the photos, whatever the processing area, all the photos from the gate onwards, the processing, storage, all the photos you have to upload on the system. So once I saw the system, the one photo is there, actually process area, and then nearby the processing area, another one door is there, and they mentioned the toilet. So I surprised that on how it is possible, because of toilet is I think I'm right. Priya ma'am, I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, yeah, okay,
till
okay.
it was.
So what happened? You see, such a worst area, there is a smell is also coming. They are asking for the license. Where is the hygienic practices over there? Nothing. Because of, if anybody's went to the toilet, immediate hand wash is also not there. Nowadays, you know that one new regulation came, Janviswas bill. We know that in 2020 amendment of provisions. In that, actually, what happened? Just I am going to tell you your information. Earlier, what happened? The labor law, it clearly told that if anybody is not what it happened, not painting the wall of uh, the toilet and all, they may be imprisonment for 6 months. And now it is changed because of the earlier. That is a very stringent law we have. But nowadays, the Genvis was bill. It told that ease of doing business. They removed that one because of that is not. You see, the whitewash is the common thing. So why we have to, if the conductor is not done the whitewash, they will put on the jail is not the correct matter. So that is also changed. But we have to keep the sanitation. That is a very, very important. And personal hygiene. Some of the, generally I saw that some of the persons, they never cut their nails and all. And some of them are chewing the pan masala and all other things and come to that area and tobacco. So personal hygiene is not there. So the dress should be very perfect and neat. Whenever you may also observe in some of the canteens or somewhere else, if you have went inside, just look inside the kitchen. Such a dirty dress they may be weird. That shouldn't be. Personal hygiene should be very, very important on the good hygienic practices. So the transportation, this is also another one, very, very important. So last time I inspected one of the transporter, because they brought the sugar in there. The sugar is I'm talking about the Kerala only. The sugar, it is coming from Bihar. So when I entered in the truck and I verified, the truck and the sugar bags are full of the cement materials and all. You see, that the truck earlier, I asked that company people why it is happened. They told us, sir, yesterday only my truck it is went for download this what it is called the cement. Immediately that order came for the sugar. So we immediately rushed to that sugar. We brought the sugar. You see that transportation is a very, very important. That's why the food material, if anything is transported through the transporter, they must need the FSSAI license. There should be modified such a way in that it shouldn't be cross-contaminated with any other things. There is a good hygienic practices is also over there. And a product information and consumer awareness. The product, if you are packed with the things, it should be very perfect and it should be give the information for the consumers. This contains sugar, this contains this much what it is called, it contains this much allergen, this much coloring matter. The consumer, they have the freedom to choose all the things, but it is no, we never saw that things in the label. Very minute, very microscope, even microscope also if you are used, we cannot read the things. Simply, so what happened, we are immediately buy the things, we never saw the things. And moreover, there is a fancy over there. You see, if you have saw one example, I am going to tell you. If you saw the fruit juice, juice is okay. Juice, you have to add the juice. This is a regulation told that particular percentage, and you cannot add the color also in the juice. So, whether you saw any juices in the shop, drinks, the picture is very beautiful. Apple, and they put the apple picture and put that apple drinks. Apple juice is different. You cannot add color. If apple drink is different, you may add the color. So that other ingredients, other preservatives also you can add in that one. So fruit juice, we have the regulation and we have the standards. And fruit drink, that's why you see the fruit drink you may get in 10 rupees, but fruit juice is not. So the good, what I'm telling means here good hygienic practice is mandatory. The consumer awareness, you have to make the label in such a way, product information should be clear, no doubt for the consumer. That is a very, very important. And another one is the training. Training is also very, very important. The training means that every level of the training, and so that we can do the any defect is there, then we can rectify the what it have happened. We will clear our doubt, and we will go for the perfection. This is a basic general hygienic requirement program requirement for these things. This is a fundamental and very, very important before going for the HACCP. Okay. Then next slide we will see good manufacturing practices, personal hygiene, and the whatever the manufacturing area should be very perfect, and it should be designed like that. It should be correct sequence should be there. If raw material is here and that another one corner, that is that what a processing area, then storage there, this area. It should be mesh. It should be very perfectly designed. It should be easily accessible, so that there is no congestion between the two areas. Grounds area will be very perfect. Ground floor should be very perfect, and roof it should be the very good, and that there is no spider web and all other thing. Sanitary operation, drainage, and everything. Equipment and utensils should be in the ISO standards, and the processing and the control should be maintained. And water storage first in first out process should be there, and the regulatory mechanism should be there. Warehouse should be where we are going to store, and what is the optimum temperature. Everything should be very perfect. Distribution channel should be the transportation. All the things should be very perfect, and it should be very clear. This is a prerequisite program for good manufacturing practices. So I don't have more time to discuss about the good hygienic practices and good manufacturing practices. This is very, very important if we are going before the HACCP. So let us see the HACCP. We all know that hazard analysis, critical control point. That is known as the HACCP. Okay, hazard analysis, critical control point. Let us see. So HACCP is a proactive approach to control the food safety hazard. Generally, what happen after the incident? If any incident happen or any food poison is happen, generally the people are running behind. Oh, what I can do with this? This is happen. HACCP is not like that. So before going to that, before the incident is occur, we have to think about what I should do. So HACCP is not the problem, not the program for this. After incident happened, running here and there, what I can do here? It is not like that. It should be what I should do before that coming for the contamination. That is a very, very important. You see, this is a preventive mechanism. Before the incident is going to occur, we have to prevent. It is not the corrective mechanism. After this, oh, this has happened, then I will do it. No. Before going to the product, before it is coming out to the consumer, it should be prevent. Whatever it is there, it should be prevent. It is not the corrective mechanism. Let us see a little bit further. So HACCP is a preventive mechanism. I already told that it is not the corrective mechanism. It is moreover some of the concept is there. If I install the HACCP, zero risks. I don't have any risk. No. If you are install the HACCP, you may minimize the risk. I told that it may minimize the risk. It is not a guarantee for you for the 100%. I'm audible? It's okay, ma'am? Hello? Yeah. Okay, okay. So what I am telling means it is the minimize the risk. It is not the zero risk mechanism. And some concept is there. It is that what it is called. It is improve the quality. You see, HACCP is not going to improve the quality. It is just mean for the safety mechanism. It is just mean for the minimize the risk. It minimize the what it is called the contaminations. It is not depend on the quality. So these are you have to kept in mind. Let us see history of HACCP. So the history of HACCP is started in the year 1959 to 1960 because of you all heard in this also. At first NASA what happened? They are planning to produce the food for the astronauts, okay, to guarantee the food safety. Why? Because of they are going to space. Space is a different environment, not like in this Earth. Because of new particles may be there, the climate is also different. So for we know that we have to survive. Survive means without food we cannot survive. If we send back to space, we cannot control ourselves. So the food those who are going to eat, it should be very safe and very perfect. Then only they may be survive on the space. Otherwise it is not possible. We don't know what are the elements over there. A lot of particles may be there. We don't know how it will be. That's why what happened, NASA they are planning to produce the very perfect and safety food for the astronauts. So they mention in a very schematic things and all. It is also looking very beautiful. Each and everywhere they will put the system and critical control point on how all the things remove and perfect and pristine food they recommended. It is looking very good. And then in 1963, what happened? That Codex Elementaris, you know that Codex Elementaris is the body which is established by the WHO, and another one body who is, please tell me. Then who is that another one body that is established to associate with Codex Alimentarius? Anyone? Yeah, very good, sir. Dr. Neha Kakwal, that is correct. Pradesh Pandey. Yes, correct. WHO. They are from the Codex Alimentarius. So they make one of the book that is known as a book of food. It is collected. Yeah, Dr. Abhijit, sir, that's a correct. It's an excellent answer. Yeah. So you see, there is a book. That is the book is known as a book of food. It is collection of the international recognized standards and best code of practices and guidelines and other recommendation related to food production and food safety. So Codex Alimentarius still it is available on the website also. If you go, you can saw that on Book of Food by the Codex Alimentarius. It wonderfully design all the things under. So what happened in 1973? There is joint project is coming with the Pillsbury because of Pillsbury. You know that there is a very big company. They are a lot of food products they have. That food products are also the very good and the standard they are maintaining. So American Army Laboratory and Pillsbury Group also make the joint project for the preparation of the astronaut food. In there, this HACCP is very play the key role. So in this 1973 also, another one thing is also happened in low acid canned food is there. Na? So pH greater than 4.5, that is HACCP is mandatory. Already this is all the things I am talking about the US FDA regulations, not in India. Okay. So they put the mandatory for this in 1973 for low acid canned food. Okay. Then 1985, what happened? National Science Academy suggests that the HACCP is applied for the food operations which should be related to food safety. That is a major, what it is called, major amendment by the National Science Academy in USA. After that, you see 1997 in seafood, HACCP, that means HACCP is a mandatory. That's why whether you saw or not, I don't know. If anybody is exporting the fish product from India to USA or anywhere in Europe, European or even in other countries also, the HACCP is very important. That's why all the seafood industry, seafood exporting industry have a very well and very good HACCP system. They have a very beautiful system. If anybody have that possibility, you have to visit and saw the HACCP practices, how they are performing the things. Even most of the industries I saw. And another one in 1998, you see HACCP is a very, very mandatory for the large meat and poultry manufacturers. In India also exporting the beef, and if you are going to Bihar, Arara and all other area, and slaughterhouse is there. You see that is HACCP, they are maintenance in a very good way. If you have any chances, visit these industries. So HACCP, they are even the metal contamination also, they are very perfectly removed, critical control point. So any exporting, maximum exporting, they are follow the HACCP standards because of that. It is a very, very important. Then it is coming within 1999. It came with the small meat and poultry manufacturing. And then 1999 in frozen dessert manufacturers. So what I am telling means all the high risk industry. You see the seafood is a high risk industry, and poultry and meat high risk industry, and meat and small industry, frozen dessert, and all the things it is with the high risk industry. So HACCP highly applicable for where in high risk industry. So somebody may be asked, sir, whether then what about the low industry? Please note that HACCP is applicable for all industries. Next, my slide, it is also going to tell the things. So you see, next, before that, we will see that. So the what is a hazard? So the food safety hazard is any biological, chemical, or physical agent that is likely to cause illness or injury in the absence of its control. That is, what is that food safety hazard? And there hazard is coming in the three major ways. That is a biological, chemical, and physical. And sometimes it is coming with the radiological and allergens. So whatever the hazard it is coming, there is that 5 ways. Let us say the major is a biological, chemical, physical, and nowadays what happened, the radiological regulation is also in place. So some of the radioactive materials also over there, and allergens also. So these are the major health, that means food safety hazards over there. You see, let us go a little bit elaborated. In biological hazards, what are the things? There is a bacteria, virus, yeast, mold, parasites, and virus. These are the biological hazards. So if you saw that bacteria, there is a E. coli, Salmonella, Listeria, Campylobacter, and Shigella. These are the common bacteria which we found in the food. And viruses, cold virus, hepatitis A, and Novak virus. This is just commonly found. I told that parasites, Giardia, and Cryptosporidium, and Trichinella, and tapeworms, yeast and mold growth. Phytohemagglutinin, alkaloids. These are the naturally occurring, what it is called allergens. And sometimes the plant specific toxins, I already told that what it is called this mushroom toxins. Some of the mushroom toxins already automatically generated. And then agriculture and animal husbandry chemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, antibiotics, then folic the vitamins. These are the generally agriculture and animal husbandry chemicals. And the next we are going to tell the toxic metals and that means lead, cadmium, mercury, arsenic, cyanide. These are the what happens. These are the toxic metals and this form which is the chemical which is present in there. And sometimes what happens, some of the accidentally added chemicals, that is cleaning, pest control chemicals, these are actually coming from the beef. Sometimes the non-permissible food additives also added in there. Actually, for example, benzoic acid or sodium benzoate, that's a FSC actually told that very clearly 100 ppm, more than 100 ppm, it is toxic to the health. So if anybody, because generally if you enter the industry, they are not measure the things. They are the ones who notice. Like that, they are. So yeah, somebody told that my voice is not perfect. I'm right now. It's okay. Okay, if voice is not clear, then please update me through chat box. Then I will. Okay, okay, that's good. That okay, okay, fine. Okay, so what I'm telling means that means agriculture and animal husbandry chemical pesticides, fertilizers, antibiotics, polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, and toxic metals and common lead, cadmium, mercury, arsenic, cyanides, and all the things it's toxic chemicals, and veterinary residues, non-permissible food additives. It is also the problem. Then processing contaminants. Sometimes some of the chemical it came for the processing contaminants. For example, lubricants. Sometimes in the some of the conveyors and all other areas, we maybe applied the lubricants. One time I went for the Sikkim and I saw one of the noodle industry. You see the conveyor, they apply some grease and all. It is actually it is also touched with this, the conveyor, it is already contaminated. The noodles are going through this one. The noodles automatically contaminated through the things. And then they are going to pack them this one directly. It is came to the food. So we have to carefully look in this process contaminant, lubricant, cleaners, sanitizers, coatings, paint, refrigerants, water. Sometimes water may be also contaminated with sometimes you see that heavy metals may be there. Sometimes that water may be contains a lot of microorganisms also. So everything, sometimes the water may be contain E. coli. We have to think about that and then we have to take care of this chemical in that one. Okay, these are the very important in these things. Next we are going for the physical contaminants. Physical contamination, any physical materials that is known as a physical that is a naturally present in the material, and sometimes it may be with a handling or process, bonds, pits and bugs, and glass materials and metals, hair and BD, cigarette and hair, stone, stems and seeds. These are the, sometimes you see some of the just you observe the photos, some of the things we may found in the what it is called our stomach. In some of the a lot of other what it hardware, it is a hardware workshop like that, because of we regularly ate a lot of small pieces, we never saw that things. You see that what it is called iron is there. Na? Iron is also present in tea powders because of during that processing, that cutting in that time. Sometimes it may be coming. Lot of other food also it may come. So it is deposited in our stomach. So our stomach may be a bulk of physical materials may be over there. So just I put one photograph also for your fun. Okay, so some of the extraneous matter also, light filth, that means insect maybe there, rodents, birds excretia, and the sand, stone, clay. Sometimes some of the extraneous vegetable matter, stalks, piece of shell, pits, fibers, and sometimes peels. So maybe some organic and inorganic materials, chaff, stem, straw, and dust, dirt, stone. These are generally present over in the, these are known as the physical contaminants. They are present in the food materials. Where it is coming from? They may be coming from the vehicle emission. It may be agriculture practices. It may be from the industrial emissions. These are the primary areas. What about the secondary areas? It may be from the crop, livestock, and seafood. Because of all the primary, it is consumed by the secondary, and it is coming over there. Tertiary contaminations, processing, storage, transportation, distribution. And then what about the quaternary? That is the retail shops. Even the contaminations are coming through the cooking also, cooking time also. Because we may be putting some of the what it is contamination. We may be you see some of the what happened. The table somewhere else. Generally, the vegetables we are cutting on the table are somewhere else. We wipe the same with some other chemicals. Again, we will cut. Then automatically the contamination may be over there. So these are the primary and the secondary, tertiary and quaternary contaminants from the food. Okay. So what is HACCP? HACCP is a science-based, internationally accepted food system. So the HACCP is focused on hazard identification and prevention. So hazard HACCP is address chemical, physical, and biological, radiological, and allergens. So it can be applied to all segment of the food chain. You see, you can apply this one to the all food chain, all sector of the food chain. HACCP is applicable for all food production chains, whether it may be production, whether it may be the processing, it may be transportation, or it may be the retail and food services. So HACCP can be applied for any industry. Okay. So the HACCP have that two areas. The first is two elements are involved with the HACCP. The first is the pre-request program, and another one is the HACCP plan. Okay. So pre-request plan means before implementation of the HACCP program, we have to inspect all the things before implementation, prior to the implementation of the HACCP plan. So we have to think about the internal and the external environment. This is very, very important pre-request program. If you are going for the HACCP, you have to think about the implementation of the prior, that means internal and external factors. And then after getting the information, you have to make the HACCP plan according to your industry. You can make it tailored. You make it in a perfect way which is suitable for your industry. For that purpose, you have to make the external some expert also. That is very fine. So these are the pre-request program. Pre-request program involved with the cleaning and sanitation of the procedures, personal hygiene program, traceability and recall programs, pest control system, receiving, storage and shipping procedures, supplier control and training. Then if we are thinking about what it is called the develop the HACCP plan, we have to think about the team of the individuals in the company. So they have to, there is a 5 steps are there and 7 principles are there. They have to try to apply in this one. What is the HACCP plan? So first thing is assemble the HACCP plan and describe the food and its distribution, describe the intended use and consumer of the food, develop a flow diagram which describe the process, verify the flow diagram. These are the very, very important and mandatory for the HACCP system. Okay. Yes. So at first, if you are going for the HACCP program, at first you have to assemble the HACCP team, then describe the product, and then identify the intended use, and then construct a flow diagram, then on-site verification of the flow diagram, and then list all the identified hazards associated with each steps and consider preventive measures to control hazards. Each and every one steps you have to go through this one. So first is assemble the HACCP team, then describe the product, then identify intended use, then construct the flow diagram, on-site verification. These are the fundamental steps for the, what it is called, these are the very fundamental steps for the HACCP, formation of the HACCP things. Okay. Then we will see, at first I already told that before, once if you would like to implement the things, once you are planning to implement this HACCP or HACCP, you have to collect all the resources, all the information. So that is the first thing you have to do. So wherever if you are the milk industry or slaughterhouse, whatever it is, you have to collect all the information related to the industry, all the material as much as possible. You have to collect all the materials and read all the materials correctly and adopt, which is very suitable for adapting your industry. That is a very, very fundamental things first before going to adapt the HACCP. The next thing is that assemble the HACCP team. So the first step, collect the material. Okay, it's fine. You read all the things, then you got the idea. Then you have to assemble the HACCP team. That means HACCP team. So that means one person should be that. Assemble the HACCP team means you have to take the members from the each and every one industry, in every one sections. I'm talking about the sections. If a person from the industry engineering division, you have to take him. If you are responsible for the production, you have to take him. He is a plant operator. Very fine. We have to include him. Sanitation and cleaning facility. It is a very mandatory. If he is a microbiologist, essential. If quality assurance, we need them. One of the guy he is from storage, very important. If it is going for the transportation, mandatory for him. So all the sections we have to take the representative officers and put in the team. In this one person must know this HACCP. He must be understand and he have the skill about the HACCP. So he may be the coordinator. He may be the coordinator. The coordinator communication skill is a very, very important. He have to logically think the things and all. Okay. So this is a very, very important for this one. So what I am telling means at first you have to collect the materials, then appoint the person as a coordinator. He have the knowledge about this HACCP, and then take each and everyone from the different sections and put them as the members. Then we have to go with the other things. This is a first step you have to do, collecting the information and form the HACCP team. Okay. This is the only I am again I told the things. So the person have the specific knowledge about the food as well as that SSC plan. So the next bit is very, very important. Describe the next step is describe the product. So the describe the product means you have to describe the product in a very perfect way. So describe the product means how it is. It is a very, very important. So for example, if I am taking the slaughterhouse process category, slaughterhouse, if I am taking, so the industries you may change it accordingly. Process category means what is the process? Yes, I will share that PPT, not an issue, because of this is already with the NIPTM. I already shared that. Madam, you may share to the participants, not an issue. This is very
Yes.
important because of the, yeah, please. Okay. Okay, let us continue. So you see this actually, suppose if I am talking about the what it is called the we are now discuss about the describe the product and its method of distribution. So you have to make the list like that. At first, process category. If I am taking up the slaughterhouse, then process category is a slaughter. What is the product? The product is a meat. Product is a meat. And what is the common name? Common name is a meat and meat varieties. That may be the property food also. Okay. Then you see this in food safety and standards, food categorization code. If you are going that food category is 8.1, that also mentioned for specific classification because of in food safety and standard acts food category code. Each and every one foods are very beautifully mentioned. If you went to Fosco's, if you are typing the search the select the food category, if you write anything, then immediately it will come what is the food category and what is the subcategory and what is the subcategory. For example, tamarind. If you are Fosco's, I am talking about Fosco's. If you are typing the tamarind, automatically it come which food category it is, like that. So it is always better you may mention in the food category also in the common name. Then how it is to be used? What are the things? First is the carcass is there, and then variety of meats. Okay, type of package. What type of package? Carcass, that there is no need of the packages and all. So variety of meats. So it is a 50 pounds boxes. Length of the shelf life. We have to mention the length of the shelf life. That may be 7 days. And what is the temperature we have to keep? That is also very, very mandatory. We have to tell that at 40 degree Fahrenheit. That means 4 degrees centigrade. We have to mention very clearly where it will be sold, where it will be used. It is used for the wholesale to distribution only, not for the retail sale. We have to mention very clear. Who is the consumer? Consumer are the wholesalers, and intended use this meat is for the primary processing. Primary. These are the descriptions we have to mention. You see, to describe the product, the company should answer the following questions. These are the 8 following questions. You have to answer in the very perfect way in the second. So first we collect the material, assemble the team, and describe we describe the product and its method of distribution. Then next is a very, very important. You have to see this one. So this is a develop a complete list of ingredients and raw materials. You know that what is the difference between ingredients and raw materials? Salt, it is an ingredient. Sometimes color may be you added, that is ingredient. So if you are adding the wheat, that is a raw material. If you are adding the rice, that is a raw material. If you are adding any preservative, that is the ingredient. If you are adding any other, what it is called, any other minute things, spices, small spices you are adding, that is a that is the that is also the, if it is a major quantity, then it may be that raw material. In otherwise, we will some small whatever flavors, let us say the flavors, it is ingredients. So these things you have to very clearly mention accordingly. Okay, so I already told that identify the intended use. The you see, if ghee is used for different types. You see, ghee may be used for the preparation of the bakery items and all. Milk, it is going for the direct intended use for the consumers. In the coa, you see, the coa is for going for this bakery industries, and they are making different products and all. So, if, what is the intended use? How it should be transported, and how to package quality, and how to consume, who will consume, how to store, everything should be identified and mentioned very clearly. Then you see this, then what happened? We have to construct the process flow diagram. That is the final step, and it is a very, very important step. Construct the process flow diagram. Let us see the next slide, it is very clear. So this is one of the model that is as a production flow chart diagram. You see, I am going to make this a fried chicken. Fried chicken means what are the receiving, what are the material, raw materials that is needed. That means chicken quarters, chicken and flour and spices, egg, milk and bread and clams. So all the materials I am receiving there. Then what happened? I am going for the, if it is a chicken I stored in the frozen storage, and it is a flour and spices dry storage, and if it is egg and milk, it is a cold storage, cooler storage, and if it is in this what is bread and clams, it is a dry storage, and it is all the things, it is coming to the, all the things, it is mixed together and coming to the roll and cooking, that what is the temperature we are cooking and how much time, it is also very, very clearly mentioned. So this is a model diagram. So in such a way that you have to make this flow diagram as per your industrial requirement. You have to mention in the outline all the process steps and include all process steps. It is very important. And wherever it is required for this, because of the, after this flow diagram, what happens, you have to walk throughout the plan from each and every one steps with this flow diagram, this flow chart. So you allow not, the team shall have to go with the experts and they have to discuss and to finalize the things, how it should be, how we have to do it. So the, what I am telling, this flow diagram is a very, very important and fundamental things. Once all the things it is completed, then what happen? Then we will go for this on-site verification. That's what I told, that on-site verification, we have to go with each and every one steps and come to the your room and then discuss where we have to put the critical control point or where that control point should be. All the things you have to discuss and make it accordingly. Okay. So finally, that good sanitation. Sanitation is the GSP, GMP, system operating procedures and good sanitation practices. All of the things you have to include in this, what it in the HACCP plan and try to implement. So what I am telling means these are the 5 important steps which is very required for this before going to implement the HACCP program. So once all the things earlier it is completed, then we will go for the implementation steps. Implementation steps, we have to conduct the hazard analysis, then determine the critical control point, then establish the critical control limit, then establish monitoring procedures, then establish a corrective action, then establish verification procedures, then record keeping and documentation procedure. These are the 7 important principles for HACCP. So somewhere else, if you are verifying some other documents, so maybe that verification may be coming last before the record keeping and corrective action may be coming adjust. But this is a standardized procedure. You may change a little bit variation according to your industry or your industry. No, not an issue. Because of the codex elementaries, it told that little bit flexibility is also there. If you are reading the 2020, there is a little bit modification also came with this HACCP principle as the codex elementaries. That may be useful for you, but this is a standard procedures. These are the 7 steps over there. Any small changes you may make, not an issue, but do not change the entire system. Because of these are the 7 as sub principles, it is very, very mandatory. Small changes you can, because of record keeping maybe comes under verification. Next, not an issue. Corrective action may be going down, and then verification, not an issue. Verification at first, not an issue, but it shouldn't affect the entire system. That you have to keep in your mind. So next, we are going to discuss about the 7 principles of HACCP. The first, I already told that, conduct a hazard analysis, determine critical control point, and then establish critical limits, establish monitoring procedures, and then corrective action, then verification process, then record keeping, and documentation. These are the 7 important principles for the hazard. Let us see one by one. Hazard analysis. Hazard analysis is the very, very important to prevent. So, at first what happened, you have to see what are the physical hazards, what are the chemical hazards, and what is the microbiological, and then any radioactive materials are coming, any allergens are present in there. All the materials matters, you have to think one by one very carefully. Whatever the materials I told, that all the chemical, microbiological, and physical, all the what are the hazards it will come, we have to think about that. After these slides, I'm going to give you one example also, then you have to get a better understanding about these things. Okay, at first you have to conduct the hazard analysis, and then what you will do, you have to determine the critical control point, where the critical control point should be coming, where we have to put the critical control point to prevent or eliminate the hazard, to reduce it or to remove it. Okay, the second, first we have to conduct where is the physical, chemical, and biological hazard will come enter into the enter into the system. We have to analyze the things. Then how we have to prevent in this one, determine the critical control point. Then in here what happened, we have to establish the critical control point for this one. So next what happened, next after that, see, yeah. So these are the critical control point. It is coming the thermal processing, chilling, and testing ingredients, and these are the generally the critical control points I mentioned. So the next thing is that establish the critical limit. Establish the critical limit is the next one. So establish the second one. We analyze that where we have to put the critical control points. Okay. So critical limits means what is the limit over there? What is the limit over there for the critical control limit? For example, if I am telling that aflatoxin in milk, that should be 0.5 ppm only. So there is a, we have to put the maximum value 0.0, because I am talking about the regulation, food safety and standards, contaminant and toxins and residue regulation 2011. I talked that the aflatoxin in milk should be 0.5 ppm. Then we have to put the limit over there. A critical limit is the maximum 0.5, 0.05, sorry, 0.05 maximum. So what is the minimum value? Minimum value means BOD, below detected level, is a minimum. We have to put that on over there. This is a BOD is that minimum value. Maximum shouldn't be exceeded 0.05. If it is exceeded that amount, what happens? There's a two ways there. Sometimes some of the elements we can remove it from there. Very fine. Some of the elements we cannot remove from that area. So if it is not removed, that means if it is, we can dilute the things and make the value, then it's okay. If it is not possible, then we have to dispose the material. For example, lead contamination. Lead we cannot do anything. So lead contamination means we have to dispose. I am talking about the low, for example, cereals and pulses or rice, lead is there. We cannot do anything because of that is a limit is there. We cannot remove this lead from the rice or cereals. So we have to dispose or discard the thing, but it should be on the proper disposal method. It should be again coming to the processing or wherever it may be. So very carefully we have to establish the critical limit, okay, over there. Okay. This is what are the maximum and minimum we have to keep. Temperature is very, very important. Everywhere, if you're cooking or whatever it may be, temperature may be maximum this one and minimum this one. If it is between this one, then it is very, very important. And time is also the important thing. Humidity, viscosity, pH, salt level, and chlorine level. These are the, we have to put the rider on these things. These are the, establish the critical limits. These are the factors we need: temperature, time, humidity, viscosity, pH, salt level, and chlorine level. These are the, we have to establish the critical level. This is the temperature level. It shouldn't be going behind that one, right? Then we have to monitor this. So we establish the critical control limit, and then we have to monitor the critical control limit. How we can monitor? Monitoring means sometimes you see that immediate knob is there. For example, if you went to some hotels and all, the chef always have the temperature monitoring machine. He is always keep in his pocket. Very immediately he came in the process area, and then he tested. Okay, temperature is very good, fine. Okay, proceed. Sometimes what happens? Sometimes some big industries, what happen? They have that good laboratory also. Every batch they will send to the laboratory for analysis. The lab report is told that okay, then they may be going over there. Sometimes the automatic sensor is over there. Automatic sensors, automatic automatic probes also there. It is automatically testing the what is the temperature whether it is exceeding the critical limit or not. Somewhere in the conveyor also the metal contaminations. If any metal is coming, immediately the system, the conveyor, it is immediately stopped. If any metal it is coming through the food system, immediately stop. That is a critical control monitoring points. That is also the very, very important. Then if anything is going wrong, then corrective measure is the very, very important. Establish the corrective action. Okay. So eliminate the things, and you see this one. They found one what it is called, this one contamination, hold, do not ship. Why? Again, you have to investigate this one and why it is happened. Because of, you see here it is only 62 degrees centigrade. So the temperature should be very more. Then what I have to do? We have to again process these things. So these are the corrective actions, which is a mandatory one. Then once it a corrective is over there, then it is a verification process. Verification process means how to verify these all the things. Validation, ongoing verification, auditing are also the part of the verification process. Then record keeping. Record keeping is also the very, very important things. Record keeping, you have to document it all the things. HACCP very important documentation also. Documentation all the things, inspection and any problem you found, anything it is folded, all the things it should be very, very important. With that more, there are 4 important type of the document. That is a HACCP plan, and it is a supporting documents. Who is that coordinator, his details, and what are other members with the phone number and email and all of their address also, and record of CCP monitoring. Where is that temperature and time and pressure, all the things, all the things it should be. Some of the instruments needed calibration. You have to keep the record for the calibration also. If some of the things it is a third party auditing may be there, you have to keep the third party auditing and internal and external auditing records also. If anything found the found mistake, then corrective action system, corrective action mechanism. If any complaint is coming over there from the consumers, you have to keep the complaint and what is the measures you done that on. That is also, again, the verification activities also you have to mention. You see this verification activity, if you are telling this one, everywhere verification is not only once it is completed we have to go and relax. No, it is not like that. So that review or verification activities, every time you have to go. Any changes, any process changes or anything has happened, again you have to go and verify that thing. At least every year you have to, even though no changes is there, every year you have to review the system, and any modification is required, then you have to do it accordingly. Okay, these are the very very important, and the record should be made on time. Somebody think that okay, today I feel very tired, so I have a lot of works. Tomorrow I will do with the HACCP. No, you have to make it under the time. When the inspection was completed, very immediately all the officers or the team, they have to make and made it on the time. It should be very accurate and very systematic way. If you went to visit the industries, then you can saw that very systematically they will. And who is responsible for the records, who is record, that is also you have to mention. So HACCP plan and HACCP team, they're all the name details and all the things. HACCP plan, it should be the record. And verification procedures and calibration certificates and verification, and any new machines or any machines it went out of control, all the things. More daily monitoring records you have to, all the records should be validation also you have to done. These are the record keeping areas. Okay, so I will go with one of the good example because of this one with the milk. Then you will get a little bit idea about the things. It is always better. I will start with the milk. So if you are talking about the milk contains the three hazards. One is the physical hazards. Physical hazards, how it is coming because of the animal dirt or animal hair, maybe over there. The physical hazards, maybe you see that silage and sometimes mud. Sometimes what happen, mud and sometimes the animal hair and dirt or sometimes pebbles or some other things also coming as a physical hazards. And what are the chemical hazards? Maybe from the pesticide residue and the veterinary drugs residue. And sometimes you see last time FSSA conduct some of the milk quality analysis, a lot of aflatoxins also we found on the milk. So maybe the actually what happened, what happened, some aflatoxins, maybe it is coming from the what the feed we are giving to the animal, it is coming to that. And the biological hazards, we know that the milk is a highly contaminated, highly perishable item. It is a very good medium for growing of the microorganism. So there is a good possibility for this, what it is called the pathogens and non-pathogens for this one. And these are the once we are conducting for the hazard analysis, you have to think about the physical hazard. These are the possibilities are there. Chemical hazards, these are the possibilities, and biological hazards. You have to consider the things. Then you have to determine the critical control point. So for the critical control point, that each and every one steps you have to put the what it is a critical control point, whether physical or chemical or biological. So you have to try to eliminate the things. That is a very very important. Critical control point, it's okay, but you have to eliminate the things. For the purpose, the decision tree is a very very important. It may be used for each and every one industry. You have to prepare this decision tree accordingly. Then you have to go for this one. So let us see the decision tree. So then you will get the idea about the things. So this is a CCP decision tree program. For example, I already told that in the milk we have the physical, chemical, and biological. So in here, what happened here? You see, I am putting the filter. Filter means one sieve I am putting. Why physical? To remove the physical contamination. Then I will go with the CCP decision tree diagram. The first question you see: do preventive measure exist at this step or subsequent step for the identified hazard? Here I am putting the sieve. So whether the animal hair or dirt or mud or fodder or grass or silage, whatever it is coming, this filter I can filter. Whether it is very important, I can filter this one. So the next step you see, Does this step eliminate or reduce the likely occurrence of the hazard to an acceptable level? Yes. Yes, because I am putting here as filter. So all my physical matters, it is removed from this one. So it is a critical control point. Okay, it remove all the physical materials from this area. If I am putting the filter over there, microfilter or whatever the filter, so I can filter this, what it is called the physical thing. So it is the critical control point. Let us see the chemical. Chemical, I already told that pesticide is there, asplatoxin is there, and veterinary drugs are there. Then, if I am putting the sieve here, same, whether it is remove the chemical hazard, yes or no? Let us see, yes or no. Whether the filter or sewage, whether it is remove the chemical hazard. I think all are listening or not. No answer.
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. So let us see. So if I am putting the what it is called the physical filter here, it will that means CV here, it will remove the physical hazard. And what about the chemical hazard? CV is not useful for removing the pesticides or antibiotics. So it is no. Here you see it is a no. So once the milk is coming out from the cow, we cannot put it back because of it is impossible. So what we have to do, we have to go one step, modify the steps and go further. So if any pesticides or heavy metals or antibiotics are coming, we have to think about the food feeder level. Feed is a problem, so we have to control the feed. So we have to take the feed and check on the laboratories before we are going to feed the cow. So like that we can eliminate this, what it is called the chemical hazard. So if that is the receive is not possible, then it is not removing. So it is mandatory for this safety. So we have to go with the one step further. One step further means one step for before that. Then we controlled with the laboratory. Feed is a problem, and we took the feed and we tested pesticides and we tested antibiotic with the GCMS or LCMS, and then we will go with this. So, and suppose if we see the biological hazard, then biological hazard, how we can control? Automatically, what happened? Then we will go for the pasteurization process. Pasteurization process we can that you know that LT and ST. That means high temperature, short time, and low temperature, longer time. Generally, milk is in 63 degrees centigrade or 145 degree Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. That is a low temperature, long time. In otherwise, high temperature 72 degrees centigrade, in otherwise 162 Fahrenheit for 50 seconds. That is a high temperature, short time. That is also known as the flash pasteurization. You heard about the name flash pasteurization. So sometimes what happened 138 degree for 2 seconds. Nowadays what happened, we are all busy there. So generally the companies are set in 138 degree for 2 seconds. In others 89 degree for 1 second. Like that the companies may be set according to the requirement or according to the demand. Okay. So we for killing the microorganisms, what happened? We will put the system accordingly. So, in establish the critical limit, next we are going to. Salmonella, in case of the salmonella, you see the salmonella should be absent in the milk. It shouldn't be over there. So, what happens? Salmonella we have to kill. How we will kill? So, establish the critical limit. If salmonella is there, pasteurization we can kill the salmonella. But what about the pesticides? Pesticides we cannot do anything with this things. So, dilution is the only way. If milk dilution is the only way, we have to reduce the pesticide. So generally in milk, if you saw that bifenthrin and carboran, carboryl and chlorpyrifos and cypermethrin, trichlorophon, these are the pesticides. It is there. Generally, what happens 0.2 or 0.05 is the maximum limit for this one. So FSSAI told that there is a maximum limit for the pesticides. So what happens if pesticide is there, then we have to dilute that things. Dilution means it is going Below that 0.01 or 0.0 BOD also, BOD it won't go. But anyhow, we have to reduce the level within the prescribed limit. So we can add dilution and we can. So this is establish the critical limit. So establish a monitoring system in milk. So where there is a microbiological lab is there, we have to test, and there is a chemistry lab is there. We have to test that pesticides and all, aflatoxin and whatever the heavy metals it is there, we can test. So this is the establish the monitor the system. Then so they establish the procedure for corrective action. Okay, so we have to establish the critical limit, and whether it is after that we have to check with these laboratories whether it is within the limit or not before going to that, and everything should be documented very perfectly. These are the very important elements over there. So now I am going to discuss about the pre-request for application of HACCP. Pre-request means before going for the HACCP, these are the very mandatory things for this one. I already told that HACCP is not a standalone program. It is combined with all other requirement, basic requirement. So before you have to apply for this, what it is called HACCP, you have to think about the design of the system facility, construction and layout and facilities of premises. The next one is that means you see the hygiene, then supply of the water and the supplier control and management of materials. In waste disposal, we have to think. Cleaning and sanitation, we have to think about that. Pest control system and management. Personal hygiene is a mandatory one. Then transportation, traceability, recall procedures, and then training. These are the very important pre-request program for the application of HACCP. So I already showed the construction and layout and the facility premises. The construction should be very good and it should be easily accessible, and the safety, all the matters we have to think. And the layout also, it is a unidirectional flow. It shouldn't be reverse. It should be very perfect. And the facility should be highly, the electric connectivity should be very perfect. It should be short circuited. Appropriate light should be very important. And all the constructions and all the things, it should be very good, and it should be ventilated. After light is also very important. It should be as per the schedule 4. If you read that in FSSAI licensing and registration, it very clearly told them. Supply of water is the another one important matter. The water should be very clear and perfect. It should be free from any chemical contaminations, and it should be any what it is called heavy metals. It should be free from bacteria and virus and parasites, and it should be radiologically accepted water. So for testing this water, you have to think about the chemical and microbiological, then parasitology, virology, radiology. These are the parameters which is generally known as the water. The potable water should be follow. What is the regulation? ISO 10500 or 2012. The water should be satisfied with the ISO 10500 by 2012. It should be satisfied. Okay, and next one, equipment and utensils. Equipment and utensils should be IS standards. IS specifications are there. You have to, that material should be like that, because of sometimes the low materials, low equipments, low materials may be used. It shouldn't be. Last time I saw in one of the actually infant Nutrimix production unit, we visited over there. Actually, they took that peanut for roasted purpose. They kept that in that roasting pan, and they kept for 2 or 3 weeks. The what happened? This peanut become black in color. So because of the quality of the material, because of that processing unit, what happened? They took the very cheap rate fry pan and all. So it is automatically the materials, it is contaminated. The contaminated are carry over to the product. It shouldn't be like that. So it should be, the utensils should be very perfect and it should be very clear. And washing also very important. If you are using the hypochlorite, the chlorine, residual chlorine shouldn't be over there. If you are washing over any other material, washing materials, it shouldn't be over there remaining. While process the food, it should be carry over to the food. You have to take care of all the matter accordingly. And then you see supplier control and management of materials. Supplier control is a very important because of the supplying material sometimes shouldn't be. We don't know because of physically we cannot saw that microbiological and chemical hazards. Physical we can saw the things, but in microbiological and chemical we cannot. So we have to think about in a very good way. Because of farm level also we have to study. If you are taking the material, you have to think about farm level, and farm also it shouldn't be contaminated. All the things you have to take care of. Next slide, we maybe have a very good idea for you in that one. So waste disposal, I already told that waste should be disposed on the proper way. It never come again for this our system. It should be always away from this system. Proper drainage and waste disposal system and facility should be provided in the proper way. And drainage should be very perfect, and it designed accordingly. And it waste are very clearly what happened removed from that area. It shouldn't be contaminated the water supply also. So cleaning and sanitation, properly designed system should be provided for cleaning utensils and food and other equipments. It should be neat and clean. The area shouldn't be damaged, or it shouldn't be accumulated any microorganisms. That should be very clear. So another things that pest control, pest shouldn't be coming over into the food processing area or raw material area. Some area we generally saw that if a storage area, you see the plenty of rat may be there. Sometimes that water fungal and some spider web, it may be there. So pest control management is a very important. Most of the industries are not followed. If you are following the HACCP as a, then you have to think about the pest control. You have to manage. Sometimes the stray dog may be inside the compound, and sometimes the excretia of the birds. The birds may fly in the processing area. It may be sitting on the storage area. So if you are applying the HACCP or ASAP, all the things you have to pest any thread and a cockroach, all the things you have to consider and you have to remove accordingly. It shouldn't be coming to the area. Personal hygiene always when you are preparing the food, the apron PPP is a very important for this one. PPP, if you saw the schedule 4, it very clearly told that what are the PPP requirements, and all the certification and auditing agencies also recommend the same. Nail should be very clean and hand should be very clean, and a ring or chain or bangle should be avoided. Even if you are putting the earring, it shouldn't be coming out, and the hair no hair is fall on the foot. And if you are infected with some other disease, you have to keep away from that, because of the nowadays early concept of the food is different. Once if you are prepare the food, it is localized, but the situation is now changed. If you are prepare the idli now, idli with the sambar or chutney, the next 2 hours it may be on some other continents, because of that much fast the food moving. So any contaminated person or any person infected, the food immediately transfer to some other area. It is a wide what it is called wide damage may be happening to the society. So we have to think about the personal hygiene. And health status of the food handler is very important. He have to take all the vaccination and all. He have to any diseases he shouldn't be. His hand and his body should be free of all the diseases. He should be personal clean, very perfect. He have to personal behavior also should be very clean, as spitting and all the smoking, chewing, and pan masala, something always shouldn't be there over this area. So personal hygiene is a very important for the ASAP program while preparing the things. The next transportation. Generally, some of the companies have their own transportation, and some are planning for this hiring vehicles and all. So if you are hiring the vehicle, that temperature inside that what it is called inside the container should be managed appropriately. And what happened, the vehicle should be very clean, and they have to FSSA license for transportation. It is free from the fumes, and temperature, opted temperature and humidity is there. And generally what happened, the food, if you are transporter, non-food items are not permitted with the food. Generally the practice is if food items along with the soap and the shampoo, all the house cleaning toilet materials, all the things that what it is it called, the one truck it is loaded, and it is going to transport to other area, that practices shouldn't be, because of if you are applying for the hazard. The food material means it should be the food material only. If we, in the closed vehicle, it should be non-food materials you have to maximum avoid, and optimum temperature the truck should be kept for, especially for high risk food, and it should be optimum temperature is a mandatory one. We have to keep the that optimum temperature. That is a very important. The next is a traceability system. Traceability is a very important. So whenever if you are thinking about the that what it is called traceability, if suppose we are applying all the ASAP system, all the things, if anything is going wrong, then we have to take back the material. That is called the recall procedure. So recall procedure is a very mandatory, and Food Safety and Standards Authority of India and Food Safety Regulation is very important. And he told that recall of the product. If anything is going very wrong, very immediately you have to take back the material. We have the experience in Nestle. Last day they bought one milk product that they also call the recall the product. So recall, the effective recall, the traceability plays a very important. Traceability means you the traceability start from the farm to where it is farm to the consumer level. That next slide it may be clearly told that. And the recall procedures I already told that. Recall procedure is a very wonderful process. So you see that traceability, food alert and the withdrawal are highly associated with the thing. Traceability, I already told that each and every one steps we have to think about where the food, where which area we took this material, and one step forward and one step backward. That is the thing. Food alert means if anything is going wrong, then we have to take it from that. Take it from that is our duty, because of we before going for the worsen, we have to take back the material. That is known as a food alert. And what about the withdraw? Withdraw means the material, the unsafe material, which is removed from the supply chain before it has to reach to the consumer. That is known as the withdrawal. Okay, so I think these are the very important for while we are talking about the recall. That means traceability, food alert, and withdrawal. So traceability is linkage between the sectors. That means we have to two steps we have to think about forward, and two steps we have to think about backward. That is known as the traceability. Okay, so recall means the removal of the unsafe food from the market and reducing risk to the consumer. That is known as the that means recall. Okay, so if any incident, food safety incident, it is happened, so we have to remove the unsafe food from the market and reduce the risk to the consumer. This is known as a recall. Just I am giving one of the pictorial graph just to see. This is the traceability as well as the recall. You see the farm, we have to start the what it is called the recall procedure from the farm. The farm we harvest the materials and we will give the to the miller. So so what happened, this the farm, which farm they have to take, the miller they have to put the batch number for this grain. So when it is going for the after milling, the batch number it is directly going into the storage. We know that which batch number it is there. So it is again going for the transportation. We know that the bakers they will bake in this one. It is going to the consumer. For example, if it is affected with the mycotoxins, so from the batch number we can detect it, because of the miller have the batch number. This is a farm which is affected with the mycotoxins. This is a batch number. So this mill produced this batch number here. This is, for example, A2 is the A1 is that aflatoxin mycotoxins or aflatoxin maybe. The miller put the batch number as the A2. to A1. So A1 is this bag is A1. So while the A1 is transported to the bakery. So bakery, what happened? This A1, he make the 4 or 5 products. It is going over there with the batch number. So if it is going over there, then we can identify which farm it came. Even if you are went to supermarket, nowadays what happens? Supermarket, they took your mobile number and your address also. So if anything it is going very wrong, if any food poisoning happen, very immediately they will call you. Oh, this is a batch number. Immediately they identify. Oh, this is a mill. This is a farm. We took this one. This is a mill. It took. This is a batch number. It is transported by this vehicle and it is stored over there. This bakery they took. What are the product? It is there. Mm. Then we will identify which is a mycotoxin or pesticides which is affected that one. Then we will recall the product. So this is the way we will work accordingly. Then uh, what happened? Then recall procedures. So recall procedure. Who is going to make the recall? The recall means who is the manufacturer or food business operator. He have to implement the food. That means he have to implement the recall procedures. He have to initiate the recall procedure. That's why I told that if any food incident is happen, the recall must be done by the food business operator. So FSSA is the supervision authority only. FSSA never told that you have to recall this product. No, if it is food is contaminated, the company's responsibility. They have to call back that one. They have to call back and they have to take back. FSSA is the supervision only. The state food authority is there. They are the enforcement agency. But if any incident is happened, this company they have to inform FSSAI. This is the food. It contains this much toxins. So it is on the market. We are planning to recall this much amount. We produce this one. We distributed this area. This is the batch number. All the details. The food business operator they have to give to the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India as well as the Food Safety Commissioner of the state. So then what happened? Every time they have to, that is, if you read this food recall regulations procedure, that is very wonderful and beautifully described in such a way. So another thing, so you see that for recall, you have to make the food recall, initiate the food recall responsibility. For all the companies, you have to, along with the HACCP, you have to make this recall procedure also. That is a mandatory one. Because of if anything is happened, so this is a method you have to keep it. ASAP is very, very important, not an issue. You have to manage that one. Along with this one, this recall procedure is a very, very important. So what is the recall procedure? First, you have to initiate the food recall. I already told that the company have to initiate the food recall. Then every time you have to report to the authority, that means state government and central government. And once all the materials it took, and you have to store in the specific area, and told that we completed this recall procedure, this much foods we produced, and all the materials it came over there. All the materials, if you produce the 10 metric ton, the 10 metric ton should be in the place. Okay. So if anybody is consumed, then you have to give the details also, and you have to full details you have to submit to the FSSA as well as the state authority. Okay. And after that, post recall report, you have to submit to FSSAI. Then again, follow up to prevent the reoccurrence. It will be coming again. So what are the follow up you have to do that one? You have to clearly give to FSSAI. For the purpose, you have to make the recall management team. Recall management team consists of the high level officers, that means management level, senior person or decision maker, and quality assurance people may be there, and the technical advisory officers may be there, and media communication. So if you are talking about the recall regulation, there is a communication is very, very important. So all persons can go if any contamination. Not media briefing. One person called management team, he have to contact the media and he have to explain it. So like that we have to do that. And another one, if any food poisonings happen, where we have to know that the consumer ate and they may be hospital, then only we will the food it will come to us. Then customer care or grievance returns also may be there. So if any call it is coming related to this food poisoning or food contamination and all, immediately these officer, that means customer care or grievance returns officer, they have to inform the call management team. Then the team may be what happened, get together and take all the steps. Then legal procedure may be there. So legal person or legal complaints team is there. So it is very mandatory. You have to include the food authority. That means local food safety officer, designated officers, the representatives from the government. They have to include them as a recall management team. Okay. This is a procedure. This is a steps which is involved with this recall management. So it is very clearly mentioned food safety recall management system. So this is the documents you have to keep for the recall system. That means who is the supplier for the raw material for you, who is the supplier, and the name and address of the supplier, and the nature of the food, date of purchase, delivery date, lot number, batch number, bag size, and then brand name, date of manufacturer, and date of expiry date or best before date. FSSAI license number is also very important. If you are talking about a recall, you have to keep the materials keep this document for 1 year. In case of alcoholic beverages, you have, because of expiry date is not mentioned in there. So all the documents you have to keep it for 2 years. Okay, this is the recall regulations I am talking about. Okay, so it contains the recall regulation contains 4 chapters and the 3 schedules. It very clearly told that how we will recall procedures and how we will initiate in this one, how it is a process, and what is the operation of the recall system, what is the recall plan, recall communication, how it should be, recall status, how food recovery, how we can post recall, and the termination of the recall, follow up action, all the things it is very clearly told that where actually you see food recall plan, if anything has happened, there is a specific format is there, each and every one step there is a format, there is a clear well designed format is there in food recall procedures. Simply I'm not going to write about this is the things and all, no, there is a form, proper form is there, you have to fill the form and all the sufficient document and supporting documents you have to attach along with this one and submit it to the authorities, they will review the things. So there is a food poisoning or anything has happened. InfoSan is one of the network, International Food Safety Authority Network, that is international network. So it will inform immediately to the authorities of the state government. The state government means in here InfoSan is informed to Government of India, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. FSSAI they will inform to the state government. The state government they may be uh, take all the that means that food safety violations or food safety issues. Okay, so this is one of that fruit and nuts that means peanut like material, it came over there in here it is from the Brazil, and it contains the salmonella, and some other countries that those who consume they admitted to hospital. This is also India also that came, that food safety authority also informed through that state director state to saw the things. This is another one oregano. There is from Chile. It came to Cochin port and it is also widely distributed in all over Tamil Nadu in the South India. It is also came from that Brazil only, so Chile only. So this is another one small that means food incident which is reported. So there is a system is there now. InfoSan is the system. Earlier we have another one system is there, FIRA, that any import rejection is there. We uploaded the system, but now it is stopped. Nowadays it is not working. And the things. So training is a very mandatory. The training should be over there. If anything is there, then training should be training. HACCP plan, manpower should be very clearly trained, and the refresher training is also very important. The management take call. The management person should be included in the training team, and they have to train. So if we are talking about the HACCP, there are the codex, there is a 12 steps are there. The first is assemble HACCP team, describe the product and identify intended use and construct the flow diagram and then on-site confirmation of the flow diagram. This is a pre-assessment steps. And then what happened? Then principles, there are the 7 principles are there, list of hazards and conduct hazard analysis, control measures, and determine the critical control point, establish the critical control point, establish the monitoring system, corrective action, then verification and documentation and record plans. Here I am going to tell you small things only. This is one final idea because of where we have to put the critical control point. So raw material receiving. Raw material receiving, there is a possibility of physical, chemical and biological. So this is a CCP point. Physical I remove by the filter I put that on and then I remove the things. And raw milk storage, then the raw milk storage is the critical control point. Then what is the possibilities are there? There is a possibility of this chemical and biological. So here what happen this raw milk, what happen I am taking the milk samples and do this chemical analysis from the laboratory, the fat, SNF and microbial, that means what it is called the pesticides, heavy metals and aflatoxins and mycotoxins, all the things I done this one. So raw material storage, CCP, all the things I removed in here. Then next what happened is what happened next, it is going to heat exchanger separator and skim mill and then cream it is going there. Then another microbiological I have to remove. Pasteurization is the best process. Keep it for this for 63 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes or 72 degrees centigrade for 15 seconds or 138 degree for 2 seconds. Then pasteurization completed. All the what it is called, all the microorganisms are killed. You see, these are the three critical control points for where in milk process. Then we have to go for the process. So this is some schematic materials. So what is the benefit for this one? It is a very good material. It is it may be reduce the risk of the business and it is very economic and it is you see anybody he saw the HSC hazard certified food product, the consumer are confident, okay, it is removed from the most of the hazards, so it is safe for consumer. And it is good for government also because of government benefited with this one because of health cost and economic, because of India is also that agree with the WTO and GATT agreement. So we have to international food trade may be very good. Okay, the food product we are taking from India, they are doing the SAP program very perfect and regulators also very good. So we will take all the countries are taking our product without any hesitation. So our product may be move and our peoples will grow like that. So these are the benefit with this one. So that's all my talk. I'm planning to conclude my talk there. So what I am telling means hazard is a very important. It eliminate the hazard and it will give you a very safe and clear food for us. So it is in FSSA it clearly told that whatever the method it is adoptable for the safe food you have to adopt. There is a flexibility over there in India. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much and keep you very perfect and convey these ASAP techniques to other industries also to enforce the things in a very perfect way. That's why we have to, because of we are thinking about the developed countries, the industries are because export is very important for us and import is also very important for us. So we have to work very hard for the development of our country. So SAP is a very important one. We have to keep in this one like